Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for Supernatural, Season 12, Episode 18, The Memory Remains. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom and Nikki and Kim.
Ha!
Fortune, fame, mirror vein.
Yes.
Confused.
Metallica lyrics.
Oh, okay.
But the memory remains.
Oh, what in the hell are you talking about?
I was lost too.
So,
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I was more hyped for this episode than I should have been. I like all the Pagan God episodes have been really, really strong. And I don't know. For whatever reason, this one fell short for me. I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the episode. It just wasn't... I guess I overhyped it in my head or something.
Like you said, all the other Pagan God episodes have been spot on. They've been great. I think we got a lot less Pagan God than we wanted. I think that's what we were getting at. Because, we see Black Bill out there with the hammer, and, they get into satyr lore, and you're like, oh, that makes a little bit of sense. But you actually see them peering through a mask from their perspective, and you're like, shit. Maybe they're just a bunch of psychos. Maybe they're just like cannibals or something. Which, it wouldn't be the first time that they did that. They've pulled cannibals out of the woodwork before.
Maybe they're Scooby-Doo villains.
Well,
Yeah.
like from the
Kind of.
first attack and the one we see in the car, I was like, I totally see a human hand holding that hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's human. And then later on in the meat locker, when we see it for the first time,
Putting
We're
his
like,
hands
wait.
around the corner.
wait,
Yeah,
it
it wasn't-
has monster hands now. What? And totally made sense, after, a little bit that, there's two of them.
Well,
one
once
is a costume and one is a god,
Yeah, when I saw the head of when we saw the meat locker and the head was totally different. So
Yeah.
I knew it was two totally different things. I'm like, okay, so, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that, when it comes to the Pagan God episodes, there's always some form of ritual sacrifice. So it made sense when they started to throw out, this family has been around forever, and it's just like, oh, they're the ones making sacrifices. They're the ones taking the people and
His
giving
family's
the
been
guy.
around.
Yeah.
The guy's
So-
a sheriff. He owns the local meat plants. Their whole
He
family
owned
is very
basically the whole
moneyed
town
up.
at that point.
Yeah.
But he started, selling things off. But yeah, but then they're like, well, there's a 20-year dry spell, and it's like, what's going on?
Can we just say that
But-
he is one weird fucking dude?
He is weird.
The sheriff.
Backwater town, and he's a sheriff, but he's grown up with silver platters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
He
really-
definitely came across as very weird, doing the taxidermy, and everything in the beginning, and just like the response to his answers. Like, do you know where they are? Yep.
He was very,
Okay, well,
he couldn't be.
face.
He couldn't be bothered. He couldn't care anymore. And after that, and right at the end of that scene with the taxidermy of the weasel or whatever the hell he was doing, it's just like I was expecting Dean to just be like, okay, now kiss.
Well, the thing is, you think about it. He knows that the god is locked up in his basement. He's 100% certain that god is down there. So any disappearances is because people are people for him. That's why he gave those answers, because he was very confident that they left on their own accord, because the reason why they would have left before is locked up in his basement with nobody else's knowledge of knowing that.
right.
Well, Darren, the friend of the first kid, whose name was Jared, I think, to get taken.
I love so much the name, because you had Jared, and then obviously you have Jared Padalecki, right? And then the other kid, his name was a D, but it wasn't
Darren.
Dean. Darren.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, this sounds like Sam and Dean, here, because it's Jared and Dean, and like they wouldn't do Jensen, so they went, kind of like, somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
And then later on in the episode, you have, hunting people, the family business, and I was just like, I was like, this is totally Sam and Dean, just not.
One thing I noticed, a little thing here, they're expanding their fictional name database. Agent Stark and Martell. Game of Thrones reference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I don't even listen to their names anymore when they're like FBI.
Sometimes I don't.
I just assume it's a musical reference.
They've gone
until it's like obvious.
Every
Beyonce.
Yeah, they've gone through like every classic rock band out there by now. I think. Hell, I think they've used Tyler and Perry multiple times at this point.
Oh yeah, that's their favorite go-to, I think.
Yeah, it was just a little tidbit I noticed, and I was like, yeah. I don't know why I laughed at where was I going? So yeah, the murders not being done by Sheriff Bishop.
No.
Instead, they're being done by there's another creepy dude, the dude who ran the meat plant.
Mm.
You mean Sheriff Bishop's half brother?
Yes, half brother. The weirdness must run in the he said different father, so it must run in the maternal side of the family there.
I feel like it just runs in that town in general.
But he was weird in a completely different way. Like I don't know. I can't place my finger on it. Like
he actually explained it. The sheriff, I don't remember his first name. Anyways, he was brought up like, his dad owned the town, his dad owned this, his dad whatever. Whereas Pete was the other son. Like Sheriff grew up in a nice mansion, Pete grew up in a double wide trailer. So he feels like, he's been shat upon the whole time. Like he's like a Snow in the Game of Thrones. Maybe that's why they put the references in there. He's a bastard son is what they would call it. But, now it's just, he just feels like he didn't get his due, and he's very angry about it. He explained that.
Break into the house, decide to look for something valuable to sell, find a god chained in the basement.
And the god whispered his pretty sultry words and said, "I will make you rich, beyond what you would ever expect to be rich."
I think it was
your wildest dreams.
After a 20-year dry spell, I think it was more of a bitch, feed me and I'll give you money.
He needed to allure him. I don't think he was going to yell at him like that, because otherwise he probably would have shut his pants and ran back up the stairs.
As a goat-headed thing with those hands reaching out of the grate in the floor, screaming at you. It's like, okay, we're going out of here.
Like a goat. Blah!
And then as he's running out, shitting his pants, but money!
How did that go again?
Sorry, I just watched a video of Patrick Stewart buying a field of sheep for like a minute straight.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Dom's like, what the fuck?
No comment.
Yes, it was Patrick Stewart communing with sheep. So, I don't know. The more interesting part of this, I was hoping to get more from the British men of letters who Ketch, in the guise of Mick, because, rest in peace, Mick, he's the one who gave gave the tip of this job to Sam and Dean. Which,
perfect way to give us a side plot episode.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, these last, I think they started doing this last season too, if I remember correctly. But like these last two seasons have been spot on with these side plot episodes where it's just like, yep.
To the point where
we know exactly how to pawn these off to make them part of the story now. And it's great. It's fantastic.
It's like they hired another writer who's good at inserting this stuff in. Because for some of these episodes, the side plot is better than the main plot for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, they got a lot of feedback from all the cons that they're part of. It's not just, Jared and Jensen going to these cons. It's the writers and the producers and directors as well. They've gotten a lot of feedback from the fans over the years, and they're saying, you're doing too much bullshit. There's too much filler. We don't want that. We want plot. You have a lot of room for plot.
Yeah.
And then, so
Well,
they,
like,
they still want to do their filler.
You say, Mike, that you're more interested in the side plot of this. The side plot of this was the Pagan Gods.
Yes.
That was the side plot.
For the season, the Pagan Gods was the side plot. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, so everything that was going on with the Men in Letters, that's still main plot right now. You know, so
it
just wasn't the main focus, is what you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's like text how you guys doing? It's like fine, working the case. All right, boys, they're not home. Like while you're standing outside the door.
Yeah.
Men in Letters. I don't know what you want to call them, spy team, surveillance, whatever. They go in there, basically find everything you can about Sam and Dean, their associates, how many of those shitty flannel shirts Dean owns.
Apparently a lot.
Apparently a lot.
Whole trunk of them.
Whole trunk of them. Catch's face when
I
he was
like
trying to
how
close
Catch-
the drawer.
No, he wasn't even, he could close the door easily. It was how he tried to put them back as he found them. Kind of,
That was his one thing, leave no trace.
Exactly. So he's just, trying to, get the wrinkles correct, putting it down and closing the drawer. It was, his face, too, while he was doing it, it was Catch is really funny. I didn't realize that until, this episode. I just kind of, he was annoying me up to this point, and then...
He's funny in a British sort of way.
It's true. I guess.
What?
British humor? Is that what you're trying to...
Sure, I guess.
So in a Mr. Bean type of way.
Maybe not that far. That would be amazing. So...
Mr. Catch is actually Mr. Bean.
So they go through, leave no trace, but Catch kind of took a photo with him.
Yeah, he commandeers the photo of Mary and young Dean.
Oh yeah, he has a thing for Mary.
Oh,
he is.
Yeah, he tried to be like, no, he's all in that. He wants it. He doesn't want it to go away, obviously.
No.
Don't look at me like that, Kim.
He bugs the bunker, Catch.
I don't know what I did.
But end of the episode he calls, Sam and Dean. It's like, Catch? It's like, yeah, Mick went back to Britain, didn't he tell you? So how'd the case go? Oh, fought a god, killed it, we won. Go, jolly good. And blah blah blah, ta-ta, hang up. Man, I really don't like that guy. Catch's face when he heard that over the bug was kind of like, well, I don't really like you either, Dean. That was the only way I could describe that face.
He's gonna do something to the boys purely because he's thinking that he gets them out of the way. He can have Mary. That is exactly what that look is.
Yeah, except once Mary finds out what's going on, she's not going to want anything to do with him. She already doesn't want anything to do with him, but she's especially not going to want anything to do with him.
Yeah, she doesn't want anything intimate. She doesn't want any connection. She just wants to work, get the job done, and if that means a little fun on the side, just to relieve some stress, hey, whatever. That's pretty much what's going through Mary's head right now, but...
Yeah.
Pretty much the Hunter way.
But this episode really kind of rang home why they had to take the cult out of the equation.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah. And Dean kind of just threw that at us, It's like, they're doing this research, and Dean's just like, don't worry, grabs his pocket where it is. He's like, Colt. Ganks in.
No, it didn't. It did not work. It did not go out that. He's like, oh, I wonder how we're gonna kill it. And then Sam goes on or whatever. It was 2 minutes later, and then Dean did the pulled out the Colt. He goes, I got the Colt. We're good. There was a bit of scenes in between that, as in to say there was a ruse where they're like, oh yeah, they're actually gonna try and figure out how to kill the god without using the Colt, because that was going through my head the whole time. It's like, oh, he's just gonna say use the Colt, whatever, because that's how it was when they had the Colt before. It was just like, oh, Colt, oh, Colt, oh. That's exactly what happened this episode, and I was just like, ugh, that's why they got rid of it. So,
all in all, I really did like this episode, but the one thing, and Kim can agree with me on this, that one of the big things here is we have a villain that on another TV show, Sleepy Hollow, we spent an entire season
Oh yes.
as the main villain.
The moment the moment I heard his name, I went, "Oh, hey!"
Yeah, we spent an entire season with him as the big bad, and here in Supernatural, he's just like this one-off little episode, side plot story kind of.
He's like a tiny little ass demon. While in Sleepy Hollow, he was the big demon.
Yeah, Moloch was his name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, as far as we were concerned,
what I've
in
watched.
Sleepy Hollow, he was like the leader of hell, or at least for the. Well, obviously, we now know as of the last season is that they're doing the Dante's Inferno, the multi-layers of hell. So Moloch was the leader of one section of hell.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just goes to show you, that like some other shows that will take this and spin this whatever. Supernatural's just like, we got plenty. Like, we don't need him. We'll just deal with him in an episode, So
I'm happy they made the Jersey Devil reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Bill is the local Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of little towns out there that have their local
urban
legend.
Absolutely need in my life an episode with Sam and Dean after the Loch Ness Monster. I need that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that episode.
Where they actually go to Scotland.
They've been to Scotland.
Yeah.
To, dig up Crowley's remains how many seasons
Yeah, I
ago.
know, but I mean, we actually see them in Scotland running around doing Scooby-Doo stuff. Yeah, that would be awesome just to see them, because But
it's like the one supernatural creature that they have not touched. Mentioned, we haven't seen aliens on the show, but they've been mentioned,
Well, there are other, similar water creatures all over the United
There's
States.
supposedly one in Lake Champlain. There's supposedly one up in Alaska.
There's
I
Canada.
think there's ones upstate New York in the Finger Lakes. There's something maybe like that, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that is an
big
untouched thing
fishes,
that they haven't done that yet. Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't handle an episode like that.
Why not?
Multiple reasons.
Why?
Because
I have problems with sea monsters.
Yeah.
I lived in Jersey, and my grandpa had me terrified of the Jersey Devil growing up. So much so that Nikki and I were driving a dark road from Philadelphia to Seaside Heights.
I think I know what road you're talking about.
And
Because
the whole time I was this out the window, where is it? Where?
And now, I was going to bring this up. I forgot to mention it to you last week, hon. I almost had to go down there for work. And I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, that's the little back road I took.
okay,
It was,
So-
That's the traffic light where we thought the man in the van was going to kill
Yeah,
us.
it's the one in New York is Lake Champlain, right?
Oh, it is?
Champ?
Okay,
Yeah, it's-
I guess it is Lake Champlain then.
Yeah.
but Sarah and I were coming home from Connecticut from when we were doing Lake Compound, and I wake up in the middle of this drive, and here we are on this dark road in Jersey, just woods, and I was like,
yeah.
It's a fun road.
I thought it was the fates. It was planned in our destiny.
It's one
that
of those roads where there's 9
No,
miles
the
between intersections.
The GPS told us. I think Mike made the wrong turn because the GPS was heading us, making us go down that way, but not down that specific road. And I think
Nope,
yes,
I didn't.
it worked out. Yes.
I didn't make a wrong turn. I looked at that was the fastest route from Philadelphia to where we were going.
Well, you know what?
it is.
Everybody,
Well, GPS is not always right because when we own property up in Vermont, and on our way, I think it was back home, we were going somewhere, and the GPS took us in a certain direction, and we were in the middle of the woods. Vermont is woods to begin with, but we are in the middle of the woods. There's no lights. If you turn the headlights off in the car, it's pitch black, pitch black. And we're going. We get up to the top of the hill, and there's a big sign, and the road just stops, and you're at the top of a mountain, and there's this sign that said, "If the GPS told you to go this way, you went the wrong way."
awesome.
So apparently this happens to everyone.
We had
So it was
the
just
GPS, everybody GPS is evil. and it's like, you know, it must be Skynet or something. The plan is to eradicate human beings by making them drive down dark roads and killing them.
Yeah, I've heard there's plenty of GPSs that tell you to drive into rivers and stuff like that. But I mean, I did look it up afterwards, and, you know, the next nearest main road would have taken us an extra half hour, because we would have had to go north, cut across, and go back south again. So, but yeah, that whole road, this is her first time in Jersey, you know, mind you, and she's just like, looking out the window exactly like that, and I'm just driving along, having her doing that next to me the whole time, just like, oh, of course, I'm going to see glowing eyes in a tree or some shit like that. I'm going to piss myself.
I immediately said it too when I woke up. I was all like, "Oh, we're gonna see the Jersey Devil." Just like, what?
You know what the solution to this is, guys? We all just need our own personal Dean to do all the driving, because he doesn't need no GPS, right? Am I right?
No, Dean just knows where he's going.
I remember, like, you put in directions to, like, back when MapQuest was like the #1 thing. You put directions to, like, MapQuest in. And it would tell you to drive to, like, you put in directions to, like, China, and it would tell you to, like, drive to California and then swim across the Pacific Ocean.
Google Maps does that to you too, but just as a joke. One of them is kayak across the Sea of Japan is one of their instructions. Which is, you know, I don't know if that's ever been attempted before. It's not recommended. It's like trying to swim the English Channel, which has been done, but, you know, is idiotic.
I ain't putting a foot in the ocean anymore.
Back on the topic of Supernatural.
It's relevant.
Yeah.
We have a 1-week break coming up. But at the other end of that 1-week break, we're coming back with The Future. That's the name of the episode.
Okay. Sam gets his demon powers back and he sees the future.
No.
Oh, damn it.
Are we doing time travel again?
I don't know. But anyway, next episode is called The Future. Sam comes up with a way to stop Lucifer's baby, but Castiel has something else in mind for Kelly. Dean is furious when he finds out someone stole the colt. Kelly makes a bold choice about the baby's future.
Okay, Cass. You've been gone. Who's to... You have no say in this matter anymore. No.
Cass has been in heaven.
Yes, he's been
literally
in heaven right now.
So he's probably going to come back with some crazy, off-the-wall, some angel cooked it up out of his ass idea.
He's been brainwashed.
Again.
I feel like, I feel like that's happening.
We've had multiple versions of Cass. We've had the Boy Scout, the rebellious Boy Scout, the psychopath bent on world domination, the crazy guy,
naive.
The naive.
I like the Lost. The Lost one was the best.
Mm-hmm.
When he was screwing demons and being the pizza boy.
I personally like the Cass that was working in the convenience store who was trying to make a life for himself.
The human Cass.
There was also the hippie Cass. Let's not forget the hippie Cass.
I liked the one that was mentally unstable. You know, it's like someone raises their voice like, "Why you're yelling? Why are you yelling? Why are we yelling?" The one who watched I'm in Queensland, Australia. I'm watching a bunch of dogs chase a fake rabbit. They don't know it's fake. They're going to be very upset when they catch it.
Cass is the best.
Yes, he is.
I just...
Ass butt.
I've seen that so many places now. Ass butt.
Ass butt. The best.
Anyway, is there anything you guys want to mention for this episode? Other than...
Ass butt?
Yeah,
how long is it going to take Sam and Dean to find the bug that Ketch planted?
Oh, no. Yeah.
You know what? I was almost thinking, like, at the end of the episode, the way that Sam was fiddling around with his knife. Or no, Dean. I thought he was actually going, like, just brushing his hand, like, you know, because he was kind of, like, under the table. I thought he was going to find it then. But then he pulls out his knife and they start carving their initials into the table to make their mark so that they're never forgotten.
The next time one of them drops something under the table and has to go under there.
That's a very big bug. I don't see it last very long.
It's not in a very good spot.
It's a very big bug and not a conspicuous location. Like,
it's not a conspicuous size either. Usually bugs you see are like little, like,
and tiny.
they're like the end of your pinky, and they're, you know, placed in places where, you know, you can't see them outwardly. This one is like a big freaking doobie that you see like really, really big freaking stoners roll so they can puff past. Like, and it looked like it had like a candle wick on it too. Like, what are you gonna do? Just put it in a freaking candle holder and light it up and get high in a box? Like,
It looked like a mini mic. What it did? It looked like a mini mic. It was a little mic.
I couldn't. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, wow, they're gonna get high off that. That's a big dude. Like, Jesus, holy.
Anyway,
Uh-oh.
that's our show. Oh my God, Dom, where can they find you?
Roll into Doobie down below. I'm kidding. At Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Nikki, where can they find you?
On Twitter. Lady Venom 24, LADYVENOM 24.
Why are your eyes so red?
Kim, where can they find you?
It's my camera. It's a new camera.
Contemplating the nightmares are gonna have over Loch Ness monsters.
Oh.
And HUFMITY.
You can find me on Twitter.
You're only hallucinating because of the doobie.
You can find me on Twitter at Philidrin. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around.
You know another reason why I wouldn't be able to handle that episode? All the Scottish accent. I'd be dead.
Oh, you'd be melting.
All over the place. In my chair. Puddle in my chair.
Everywhere.
All the puddle.